Hi to everyone watching. I hope you're having an amazing day. I first want to thank the STEM Without Boundaries team for having me to join as a speaker for their 2020 Tech Series. I'll just get right into it. Let me introduce myself. My name is Anu Thirunarayanan. I'm a first generation US college student and a rising sophomore at UC Berkeley, majoring in both data science and conservation and resource studies. I'm from San Mateo, which is in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley region. I'm so fortunate to have grown up in this place that had so much to offer me because I could explore myriad interests and opportunities. And through this exploration process, I realized that I personally was not happy choosing one main interest and putting myself in a box that way. I realized that I was interested in data, nature, health, social justice, and I am pursuing both of my majors to hopefully incorporate these interests in exciting manner. And I eventually hope to have a career in science research and science communications. As a part of this tech series, I was asked to answer some questions that a lot of people often ask of me. And I'm sure that these are questions that all of you have and that you have asked the people around you also. So I'll just get right into it. The first question that I can think of that gets asked of me is, what can students do to stand out? Especially this is especially asked of high school students. What can they do to stand out, whether it's in the admissions process or when they're entering college as they're pursuing a STEM career? And I completely understand where this question is coming from because I understand and realize the pressure around getting ahead or doing something different from the rest. Uh, and I put different from the rest in quotations, and you'll understand why. Uh, College admissions is so competitive, and that same competition falls into the job search, and I completely understand that because I went through it. However, I would really, really like to caution against the standing out, getting ahead mindset. Personally, I realized that by trying to stand out from the crowd, I was focused on what others were doing and making it a competition in my head. But at the end of the day, there's no rule, and I repeat, there's no rule saying that we can't all succeed in our own way. So I stopped trying to stand out. Instead, started doing things that I wanted, that made me fulfilled. And I did these things on my own terms. The confidence I gained since I adopted this mentality, the willingness to be authentic to myself and everyone around me, I think has led to a personal touch on the work that I do, and that catches attention. So I go at my own pace and I do what interests me, and that helps me stand out. So I advise go at your own pace, do what interests you, and you will stand out in your own right also. Don't try to conform to this idea of, oh, I must do this, this, and this to get ahead. There is nothing like that. If you do what you like and you do it at when it is right for you, you will do these activities to the best of your abilities, and people will notice you for that. And I hope this is my mindset, and I hope that my insight can impact you and that you'll take away uh, an important lesson that you can use moving forward. Another question that I get asked a lot is, what is something that I learned as a younger self that really helped me? And what is an advice or that I could give to someone in their high school years, middle school years as they're pursuing a STEM career? And I think these questions really go hand in hand because the lessons that I learned as a younger self is the advice that I would give to anyone in in a similar place that I was. And I think the biggest piece of advice that I can give, the biggest lesson that I learned is to learn to work with people unlike yourself. And I say that because of my experiences in high school um, that I think will resonate with a lot of other girls in STEM. So, in my high school math team, I was the only girl in my grade on the team, and it often felt really, really intimidating, especially when the rest of the members already knew each other and I didn't really know them. And the other male members were also very involved in the STEM community, both on campus and in my general area region. And I had a variety of different interests that they didn't even engage in, like social justice and theater. Uh, I also arguably had the least background knowledge coming into the team. All of these circumstances combined made my initial reaction want to shrink myself so that I did not take up too much space. But doing that didn't really make me feel good about myself, and I don't think doing that makes anyone feel good about themselves. So I decided that what I would need to do was to leverage what made me different from the rest of the team and refuse to be treated any differently for it. And a lot of the male members were in a very insulated community where they all interacted with each other on a daily basis in the same activities. And like I said, I interacted with a variety of different people from a variety of different backgrounds and interests. So I had a different perspective on things to make the clubs better. And so once I just started demanding the space that I wanted to do the initiatives that I wanted to make the math team a better place for people from a variety of backgrounds and increasing the membership, the other members started to give it to me because I demanded it and I made the club better. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the guys found me extremely irritating for it, but that was not a concern of mine. Whether they liked me or not, I was a valuable member of the team, and they respected me well enough, and that's all I really needed. And though a lot did not like me, I also gained some really, really close friends in this process, and I learned to navigate groups of people that were seemingly nothing like me, and we found common ground into becoming good friends. These skills were also put to use when I joined the robotics team in its founding year, my junior year, and I was again the only girl in my grade. But then I was able to bring in other girls in the lower grades so that once I graduated, there would be a greater female presence on the team. My efforts in bringing in different perspectives to make the spaces that I was in better did not go unnoticed. I was chosen by the math team advisor to be the director of the yearly math competition that we put on for neighboring middle schoolers. I was also chosen by the robotics team founders in their senior year as they were graduating, along with the faculty advisors, uh, for me to become the vice president and business manager my senior year. So, in a group full of guys that were so STEM focused, my people skills shined through, and I was allotted to these positions, not my peers. And I think most importantly, one of the robotics team faculty advisors also ended up becoming my AP biology teacher, and we grew pretty close. And she became one of my letter of rec writers for college. And what she noted in that letter of rec was that I was great at connecting with people. And as she put it, weird, awkward high school boys. I served as a role model and as a leader for the younger students, possessing skills that most of my weird, awkward high school boy peers lacked. Um, she also mentioned that unlike most recommendations letters that she writes, she didn't copy paste a single thing in mine outside of my name, which means a lot to be able to stand out just for bringing in my background is the biggest asset that I had, meant a lot to me. The skills that I gained while navigating these spaces where I was unlike others, at least superficially, has proven invaluable to this day. I often have to work with majority male teams. I'm often the only queer person in discussion. I often have to work with techies that really could not care less about environmental justice, or environmentalists that don't have a lot of tech knowledge. And I hope this anecdote that I provided Also highlights what I said earlier about doing what I was passionate about on my terms. Being involved in math team, being involved in robotics team is nothing special. People do it all over the country, and there are so many people doing it definitely in the Silicon Valley Bay Area region. By bringing my unique skills and unique background to the table, and by taking up the space that I wanted to incorporate the initiatives that I thought would benefit the spaces that I was in, I made an impact that not everyone could and got recognized very well for it. I hope that you can take away that lesson from the anecdotes that I told you. And lastly, another question that I get asked a lot is, what's a program that I would recommend for students to take advantage of? And I really want to stress again, do what interests you. There is no one program. However, something that I would strongly recommend to every girl and non-binary person, every youth girl and non-binary person, is the Built by Girls WAVE program. It's for, like I said, all girls and non-binary people age 15 to 22. Technology plays a large, large role in every and all industries. That role only continues to grow bigger. So no matter what you want to do for a job, meeting advisors that will help you in your career development while learning about various aspects of the tech industry is such a valuable experience. I cannot stress enough how much I was shaped by Built by Girls WAVE program when I was able to learn about different roles within the tech industry. And that really cemented in me that if I wanted to take up space in the tech industry, I did not have to be a computer scientist or an engineer. There was a way for me to get involved without having to conform to anyone's idea of what the tech industry is. And I've asked the STEM Without Boundaries team to link uh, information about the program and a registration referral link. So I would greatly appreciate if you could find out more information about the program through that link and also sign up with my referral link in the description below. Um, that's all I have to say. Key takeaways: be yourself, do things in your own timeline, um, take up the space that you want, and sign up for Built by Girls Wave. Thank you so much for joining me today and listening to what I have to say. I hope you learned a lot and have a great day. Thank you.